Welcome to Podcast 3000, the place for meaningful chats and talks on the net. Enjoy our food for thought.
The deep dive is back again. Today, Erica and David are talking about Brian Onyango Owino, author and thinker, advisor and someone who, when reading his texts, makes you feel like he's taking you by the hand. He navigates life with all its ups and downs and challenges and setbacks. And he explains what he means by superhighway and street road. In his blog Made of Brian, he shows us ways in which we can learn something good even from our mistakes. Erica and David, it's your turn.
Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us.
Always a pleasure.
Today, we're tackling something that I think a lot of people listening struggle with.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Making the most of our time and finding the inspiration to push us forward.
Yeah?
We'll be looking at the work of Brian Onyango Owino.
Okay.
He's an author with some really interesting perspectives on personal development.
Interesting guy.
We've got excerpts from his book on time management.
Oh, cool.
And some insightful posts from social media.
Nice. So we're getting like a full picture.
Yeah, a full picture of his approach to life and work.
Very cool.
What I find really interesting about Owino is that he goes beyond just, your typical time management tips and hacks.
Right. Like he's not just like do this and do that.
Right. He digs into the mindset and philosophies that can help people make real changes.
That's what I like. Sustainable change.
Exactly. Sustainable change. And get this.
Okay.
He calls Monday a mini New Year.
Oh, wow.
Like a chance to hit the reset button. I don't know about you, but I usually kind of dread Mondays.
Oh, yeah, me too.
So this is a pretty new idea for me.
Yeah. I can see how that would be a powerful reframe.
Yeah.
Instead of just like the start of the grind,
Right.
What if it's like renewal
Yeah.
and intention setting? Like every week you get to check in with yourself.
That's a good point.
Reevaluate your goals, make sure you're on track.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. I'm starting to see how this could be useful.
Yeah.
But sometimes it is really hard to stay motivated.
Oh, for sure.
Especially when you're working towards those big long-term goals.
Yeah.
Owino seems to have a solution for that.
Does he?
Yeah, celebrating small wins.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He talks about recognizing even the smallest achievements.
Like what?
Like finishing a chapter you've been stuck on.
Oh, okay.
Or writing your first line of code.
Right, just bursts of momentum to keep you going.
Exactly. Even when the finish line seems miles away.
It's funny how we get conditioned to focus on those big milestones.
Right.
And forget to appreciate those little steps.
Yeah.
But I think his point really resonates with me. Like, if you can train yourself to celebrate those small wins, you rewire your brain.
You do.
To focus on progress instead of perfection.
Such a good point.
Right?
Totally. And it's that shift in perspective that can really make all the difference.
For sure, because if you're constantly waiting for that big win to feel good,
oh, yeah,
you'll be waiting forever.
Forever. But if you find joy in the small achievements, it's much more sustainable.
Right.
More fulfilling.
So he doesn't stop there.
He doesn't.
He goes a step further with maturation.
Okay.
And this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
He says it's not just about growing, which is quantitative.
Right.
But it's about maturing, which is qualitative.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's about a deeper shift in how you approach things.
So like what's an example?
He talks about learning to play a few chords on the guitar.
Okay.
Versus truly understanding music and expressing yourself through it.
Oh, so like embodying the skill.
Yeah.
I get it.
So it's more than just knowing the steps.
Right.
It's like going from following a recipe to really understanding flavors.
Yes.
Techniques that make a dish delicious.
Oh, I like that.
So you can improvise.
Yeah.
Because you understand those principles.
That makes sense.
And it's not just about skills or hobbies.
Okay.
This can apply to any area of life.
Really?
Yeah. Relationships.
Oh, wow.
Career.
Yeah.
Personal growth.
So how do we even recognize this in ourselves?
Yeah, that's a great question.
It's not like you can check it off a list.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Well, he suggests starting with reflection.
Okay.
He has this practice called the Monday reflection.
Interesting.
Where he takes time to think about the past week.
Okay.
And identify the shifts in his thinking or approach.
So asking yourself, like,
yeah,
where have I grown?
And not just what you've learned or accomplished.
Right, but
how you approach challenges.
Yeah.
How you make decisions. How you interact with others.
Right, those subtle changes.
Those qualitative shifts.
We might not even notice.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating is that he suggests doing this reflection on Mondays.
Oh, wow.
bringing us back to that mini new year.
I see. So using that reset to not just plan for the week ahead,
Right.
but also to reflect on the week that's passed.
Yeah.
That's cool.
To acknowledge those subtle but important changes within yourself.
I like it.
Thinking about this idea of maturation,
Yeah.
it makes me think about how we view success
Okay.
as this, linear journey.
Yes.
Like you're constantly moving forward.
Upward trajectory.
Right, upward trajectory.
That's a great point. And Owino actually challenges that.
Does he?
Yeah, he uses a really powerful analogy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the difference between navigating a highway
Okay.
versus those winding street roads in life.
I like that.
Yeah.
So what does he mean by that?
Well, he describes the highway as those times when things are going smoothly.
Okay.
You've got a clear path forward.
Right.
You're hitting your goals.
Yeah.
You're cruising.
Yeah, those are the good times.
Right. It's that momentum we all crave.
Exactly. But life isn't always a highway.
No, it's not.
So what happens when we hit those detours?
Right. Those twists and turns.
The unexpected stuff.
That's where the street roads come in.
Okay. Let's try to see where this is going.
Yeah.
So you need different driving skills on those back roads.
Exactly. On the highway. It's
Yeah.
all about speed and efficiency.
Right.
But on the street roads,
Yeah.
it's more about awareness,
Okay.
flexibility, adapting to obstacles.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what kind of adjustments did Owino have to make?
Well, he talks about
Yeah.
slowing down,
Okay.
paying attention to your surroundings, being willing to take detours.
So accepting that the path might not be so straightforward.
Yeah. Not as straightforward as you thought. Right.
And being open to adjusting course along the way.
It's like when you're driving in a new city,
Totally.
you have to be more cautious,
More aware.
more aware.
Yeah.
You might make a few wrong turns
Yeah.
before you find your way.
But that's okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because navigating those unfamiliar streets,
Yeah.
it can actually make us better drivers.
How so?
Well, it's in those moments of challenge and uncertainty
Yeah.
that we develop resilience,
Okay.
resourcefulness, deeper understanding of our own capabilities.
So we should see those street roads as opportunities.
Yeah, opportunities for growth.
For learning.
Exactly. Instead of failures or setbacks.
Reframing those challenges.
Yeah, recognizing that they can strengthen us.
I like that. And Owino doesn't shy away from one of the toughest parts
What's that?
of navigating those street roads.
Okay.
Dealing with the no's.
Oh, yeah, those are tough.
Or those rejections when things don't go as planned.
Ugh, it's so discouraging.
Yeah.
Especially when you're putting yourself out there.
Right. You're pursuing your goal.
They hit a roadblock.
It feels personal.
Yeah, so did Owino have any advice for dealing with that?
He does, and it's pretty profound.
Really?
He says,
Yeah.
and I'm paraphrasing here,
Okay.
that nobody wants a no,
Right.
but it's through those no's that we
Oh.
truly know.
Wow, that is powerful.
Yeah.
So those rejections,
Yes.
those setbacks, they can actually clarify what we want.
What we're meant to do.
Like signposts guiding us.
Exactly.
To a more authentic path.
It's like they act as a filter,
Okay.
helping us refine our goals,
Yeah.
our desires, even our understanding of ourselves.
They might sting in the moment,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
but they lead us to something better.
Sometimes even better than we imagined.
You know, it's funny. We talk about embracing failure,
Right.
but we don't often talk about embracing those no's.
True.
But Owino's perspective is really interesting. It's not a reflection of our worth. No, it's valuable feedback
Yes.
to help us course correct and find the path that's truly meant for us.
I love that.
It's crazy how a simple no can have such a huge impact, right?
Yeah, it really can.
But like we were talking about those rejections and setbacks,
Yeah.
they could be so valuable.
Absolutely. Owino really stresses that they can help you build resilience.
Okay, yeah.
That ability to bounce back from challenges and keep going.
Right, like each no makes you stronger.
Exactly, like you're building mental muscle.
Okay, I like that.
So you're more prepared for the next obstacle.
It's not always easy to see it that way, though, is it?
You're right. It can be really tough.
Especially in the moment.
Owino doesn't pretend it's easy,
Right.
but he wants us to try and change our perspective.
Okay, how so?
See those no's as stepping stones, not stumbling blocks?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, instead of dead ends,
Yeah.
it's a winding path leading you to where you're meant to be.
Trusting the journey even when it takes you in a different direction.
Exactly. Success isn't always a straight line. It's messy sometimes.
It is unpredictable, for sure.
Lots of twists and turns.
Owino's story is a great example.
Yeah, he had to figure out those street roads.
He did those detours, those moments of uncertainty.
And through that, he learned to embrace the no's.
Right, celebrate those small wins.
And cultivate that maturation we were talking about.
Yeah, it's a continuous process, right?
Exactly. Those challenges are all part of the journey.
It's almost like those street roads are where the magic happens.
What do you mean?
That's where we have to step outside our comfort zones.
Okay.
Adapt, innovate.
Yeah.
And really tap into ourselves.
And that brings us back to his idea of activators.
Yes, surrounding yourself with supportive people.
People who guide us.
Yeah, not just advice, but active support.
Okay.
Think beyond the traditional mentor.
It could be anyone.
Exactly.
A friend, family, colleague.
Anyone who inspires you.
Challenges you.
Helps you become your best self.
So it's recognizing we don't have to go it alone.
Right. There are people who can help you navigate those street roads and celebrate those wins with you.
Exactly.
That's a really great message.
We all have the potential to achieve great things.
But we don't have to do it alone.
That's the takeaway.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Owino's work,
Yeah.
what's one final thought for our listeners?
Think about your own journey.
Okay.
Your own street roads.
Yeah.
And the activators in your life.
And if you're feeling lost, remember, there are people who can help.
You just have to be open to it.
Owino's perspective has given us a lot to think about.
He really has.
So I hope you'll join us next time for another deep dive
See you then.
into the minds of fascinating thinkers and creators.
Sounds good.
Until then, keep exploring, keep learning,
Keep going.
and keep those small wins coming.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Eric and David. It was wonderful to see how you encapsulated and explained the thoughts and ideas developed by Brian Onyango Owino. What great and inspiring thoughts they were. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like and listen to our next deep dive.